how's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys are ready. I know it's a time of year where there's a lot on your plate though, and I hope that there's honestly a lot on your plate for Christmas itself. So we're going to get this prepped, so hopefully you have less stress on the day of. We're prepping a lot of veggies. Be sure to look through the guide and see what you actually want to have for Christmas dinner. We might have differing tastes on some things. So if you don't want some stuff, just look for the color-coded circle that's right next to the recipe and strike those off the grocery list, strike those off your prep list, and we shall get going. First, I'm gonna peel some sweet potatoes. For me, like, everybody has that favorite dish, right? For me, it's sweet potato casserole. Love, love, love sweet potato casserole. So it's amazing the amount of time and stress you can save on the day of when you are doing this beforehand. So maybe it's the 23rd, maybe it's the 24th. Heck, maybe it's Christmas and you have your Christmas dinner on Boxing Day or whenever. But you can choose how much of this you do beforehand, and then that makes the day of the actual dinner a lot easier. Because then you just have to focus on the things like, you know, the bird and, or, you know, maybe you do ham and gravy and stuff like that. So those are the things you're gonna have to be worried about, not all of the side dishes, and you won't have to be nearly as stressed while you're going through it all. And I mean, that's kind of the goal, right? So just giving a rough chop to some sweet potato. And I'm going to, of course, start with something that is going to be level 3. If you just want to have your sweet potatoes peeled and cut, and you want to put them in water so you can prep them day of, awesome, do that. I'm actually going to prep my sweet potato casserole, so I'm chopping these up and putting them directly into a steaming basket. And then my vegetables, or my sweet potatoes, are going to steam and be ready to mash while we're prepping other things. So saving myself that bit of time. You can do this on the stove top if you want to have your water on the stove and boiling now. I use a pressure cooker. I love a pressure cooker. Love me some time-saving pressure cooking, because it really does. It just makes things so much faster, so much easier. And a beauty of an appliance like that is for these big meals, when you end up with your stove and whatnot is at a capacity. I want to say a minimum, but maybe capacity is the better term for it. It's kind of large. Ends of those there. I'm gonna give this a little clean off there. It was just a little wonky. If you are getting kitchen tool envy right now for my choppa, you don't have to. It's called a crinkle cutter. And it's supposed to cut crinkly things and make them look pretty, but honestly, I'm not much of an aesthetics girl. I'm all about efficiency, and this manages to cut big, awkward things without me feeling like I am going to lose fingers. It's kind of a little magic worker, honestly. Great for turnip, and those who love it often call it the turnip cutter. Definitely not its real name. However, it does wonders. There we go. So I got these in a steaming basket. There we go. So I just put it in the pressure cooker there, and we will go on to our next mission. I'm gonna take a food processor out for this one because I'm going to start prepping for our stuffing, which means we need to have a lot of going to be having a lot of onion and celery to chop up. When there's a lot of chopping, might as well use a food processor, right? So I need about 2 cups. I get a measurement on the side of my food processor too, which is gonna make that easier for me to guess. Don't know if you guys are ready for Christmas or not yet. Like, it is such it's an interesting time of year. It can be absolutely like the best of times and also a very emotional time. Like, lots of things tend to crop up this time of year. But for the most part, I really hope it's the time when you're making beautiful memories. I think that's why it can become such an emotional time, is you can always be thinking of past Christmases and things that have happened and so many fond, beautiful memories during this time of year. I think I'm gonna throw one more onion in there, and then we're gonna see what it looks like. I just see a little baby one here. Just a little baby onion. Okay. I may have overfilled it, who knows? We'll find out soon. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. Might need a tad more. I'm just gonna pour it into this cup. This is my favorite stuffing ingredient measurer. Because it measures 4 cups and it has it on the side of it. So I usually, whenever I'm making my stuffing, I just measure along the side of it. Still need a little more onion. Whew. Jeez, that's gonna wake you up in the morning. Ooh, Diwali. Huh. Might cry for you guys today. I might just cry. Cutting onions will never be my favorite thing. But man, they add nice flavor. if that one onion's gonna bring us up. Okay, that looks good. Awesome. Looks good, doesn't feel good. Man, I'm happy I'm not actually like hand chopping those. If you're hand chopping those, like props to you. You are just magical. You are magical. I don't know how you're doing what you're doing right now, and bless your heart. I hope your family loves your stuffing. Stuffing is something I would probably never honestly make myself, except that gluten-free stuffing kind of sucks. And it's super expensive, and you just get like the tiniest little like teases of what stuffing is going to be. Oh, 2 cups of celery now. The celery, that definitely adds like more savory to the stuffing too. I saw one piece I didn't like, but whatever. That's just going to be a surprise piece for somebody. Hopefully for me, because I don't mind. I always found the chopping the hardest part on, here's the piece. Chopping I found to be the hardest part with making stuffing, because there's just so much to chop. Having an efficient little food processor, it definitely aids in that process a little bit. It makes it less strenuous, and almost like you could just make stuffing just because, which I like that kind of freedom. Who doesn't want to make stuffing just because? All right. And just biff that all over the floor. If that's the worst that I do though, I feel like I'm doing all right. Okay. There we go. Got some of the stuffing ingredients ready to go. I am actually going to get the garlic ready for this as well. Needs about 2 tablespoons of garlic, or measure with your heart because it's garlic. Let's see if I can find my peeler. I got my struggle of so much stuff out on my counter. Okay, so I've got 5 cloves of garlic here. If you wanted to do more, you could do more. If you wanted to do less, really? No, but I know garlic sometimes can do upset tummy for people. So if that's you, then go a little easier on it. If you don't have the garlic in there, it's honestly still gonna taste really, really good. There's gonna be enough flavor. There's gonna be enough flavor coming at you from everything else that's in it that it's still gonna be good. Smushed that one a little too much. Just giving them a little crush to try to peel the garlic a little easier. You know, try to make everything as easy as we can. Love to hear what your favorite dish is, the dish that makes it Christmas dinner for you. Just had a little bit of peeling stuck to my hand that was going to draw me bananas. So I'm just going to mince this garlic. Okay, that piece is a giant. We're just going to take Goliath the garlic. That's kind of a cute name for garlic. It's probably a, would you call it a breed of garlic, type of garlic, variety of garlic? Is there Goliath garlic? Because if there's not, there should be, and somebody should totally take that name and make it into a thing, because I just think it has a good ring to it. Okay, there we go. Whole bunch of garlic. I'm gonna throw that all right in there as well. That looks about like 2 tablespoons. All right, I'll put my lid on that. And that is going to be all ready to put my stuffing together. Guys, I'm gonna get one more thing prepped for level 3 while we're going here, and that's going to be preparing some cranberry sauce. I don't know if you make homemade cranberry sauce or not, but it is, well, I mean, it's delicious, right? 12 ounces. Now, if you're looking for something to do with any leftover cranberries you might have, like if you have a bunch and you're looking for stuff to do with leftovers, we're going to be putting some in our turkey brine. We brine our turkey, which is delicious as well. So, let's see. I am going to zest some orange. Now, for the zest, I only really want like the part that's, you know, really orange. I don't want the white stuff down below. That's not gonna be yummy. Don't want that. I want some of my orange juice. The difference a juicer makes versus a hand, eh? Okay. There we go. So, I'm going to put my cranberries in there. Zest in there. Orange juice in there. What else do we need? A cup of maple syrup. It's a lot of maple syrup, my friends. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but just putting these side dishes together, meal plan has about a pound of butter. Like, cannot skimp on the yummy things. Not at this time of year. Not now. We're not going to look at this and we're not going to say, I shouldn't really be eating this. Yes, you should. You really, really, really should. Okay. And gonna put in a tablespoon of brown sugar, because why not? Let's just throw in more sugar. But there's a reason this is delicious, and you know what? It is no worse for you than anything that you were eating out of a can, I promise you. Okay, so we are going to just turn that to medium heat. And then we are, gonna bring it to a simmer. And just let it go there for like 10-15 minutes is what we're gonna do. And then we're just going to remove it from the heat. So that's the mission. Okay. Now, what else do we gotta do? We gotta get some potatoes ready, like just these little things that all add up on the day of and just end up causing stress on a day you don't need any more stress. So I have a scale here just because sometimes I like to not guess. So, say I want that's 2 pounds. And you know your family. Like, honestly, take your family into consideration. If you get a lot of potato eaters, if you're feeding a lot of people, if you want to have a lot of leftovers, then go for it. If not so much, like that's just over 3 pounds, that's good for me. If you think that you need 4 pounds, go for that. Modify this as needed to suit your own family's needs. Okay, this is very much, that should smell interesting. Pretty sure I spilled some maple syrup on there. Oops, oh well. Okay, peeling potatoes. If you want to leave the skins on your potatoes, you most certainly can. Usually I do leave the skin on the potato, but there's something about a skinless mashed potato that just seems to, I don't know, work. And if you have gravy, it just, this is like one of the only times a year that you'll find me actually peeling a potato to do mashed. And everything that we do now is one less thing that you gotta do when you're putting the big meal together. And like these potatoes, Heck, you could cook them and reheat them if you wanted to. I do like the idea of having a fresh meal day of. But they're not going to be any worse for wear, just peeling them and cutting them beforehand, and then straight up just covering them in water. Just cover them in water and they're going to be just fine if you do them a day or 2 or 3 ahead. Honestly, nobody's going to be the wiser. If you had room, you could store them in the same pot you're going to boil them in. Save yourself a future dish. So right now, while you're doing this, is also a fabulous time to think of what you have in the fridge that needs to be used up and how you might be able to use it over the next couple of days. If you've got leftovers and you're eating leftovers, awesome. Perfect time to do it. I'm just gonna give this a quick stir. Can smell that orange already. Just that bit of orange seems to make all the difference in the world. The little things. That little bit of zest and flavor. And cranberry sauce, like, you don't have to do all of this at once. You could do this in bits and pieces if you want. You can do cranberry sauce up to a week before. Doing it a few days before definitely is fine. You want to do extra now, throw some in the freezer. I'm sure that would be fine. there we go. Potatoes are all chopped. Those are good to go. Okay. Now, I'm also going to peel and chop some turnip. This is a huge turnip. I do not need all of this. So I'm gonna take half of it and I'm gonna chop that up and use it. The other half, I'm probably gonna chop up and throw in the freezer, and then I'm gonna use it another day, okay? This turnip is one of those things you can process it and you can freeze it and you can use it later, and it's going to be just fine. I'm just trying to get the white that's just under the initial rind all off of it. So I don't want any tough parts on it. I want it to be delicious. I like mixing my turnip with the carrot. It's just, if you don't want to mix yours, if you want to just have carrot, you can just do up some carrots now instead. I've always liked the turnip and carrot mash. I thought it went together very well. Add some different flavor, but the two complement each other so well. It's just, I'd rather have them mashed together than I'd rather have them separate. They're just delicious. Okay. So I want it to be about half and half for turnip and carrot. So about 1.5 pounds. And about 1.5 pounds of carrots. So that's 4 very large carrots to go with my turnip. Is there going to be peelings all over my floor after this? Yes. One of the nice things is there is going to be a little bit less mess today or on the day of as well. You're not going to have as much prep mess around as you would. You're still going to have the dishes from cooking and the dishes from eating. There's still going to be a lot. There always is. But there will be less, a considerable amount less. And I do feel like this removes a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, because you decide when you do this. Like, you could do this the 23rd at 7 a.m. and do this with a cup of coffee and it'll be just fine. Or you can do it at 9:30 at night when the kids are in bed on the 23rd. I know, like, the 24th, just to me anyway, with the way we run things, the 24th is a write-off. A good part of the 23rd is too. But if I need to, I can just fit it in somewhere. It's gonna be somewhere weird. You know, it's gonna be 10:42 in the morning, and that's gonna be my time to shine. So I'm gonna be a little bit of a weirdo here. I'm gonna store these all together in here. Like, I think it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna say it's gonna be fine. But yeah, I'm just gonna store these all together, put them in a separate container if you have room in the fridge. In fact, I may regret this maneuver, but I'm looking at it wondering if I'm going to regret it already. So I'm just rough cutting these just so that it'll be easier to cook or steam on the day. Yeah. I am already regretting it. If you're wondering, is this how she makes her life choices? On a whim? Yes. It sure is. Don't know how I'm gonna fit this stuff in my fridge, but I'm gonna find a way. Or get a little creative. Cranberry sauce is smelling good. So I am going to store both of these covered in water though. There we go. Just in case I have anybody complain that they have potatoey carrots or, you know, carroty potatoes or something. So, just gonna put some water on those, and then they are good for me to store. And then that's one more thing that's done. Slowly working through all the things, my friends. There's so much work that goes into a nice Christmas dinner. And I mean, maybe it doesn't have to, but also, it's such a, it's memories, right? It's the memories you make. Okay. We are going to cube up some bread for stuffing, because stuffing is life. I get a full loaf of bread and I just cube the whole thing. It used to be when I had time and motivation, I would actually make a loaf of homemade bread just to cube up for stuffing. Made my own bone broth each time to use with it. But you know what? There's seasons when you're fancy and seasons when you just have things happen. And 3 young kids, this is not my season for baking a loaf of bread to go in my stuffing. It just isn't. Maybe in another year or two, I'll be on here baking a loaf of bread and, you know, looking real cool doing that. But no, that's not happening today. Or anytime soon. Okay. So cutting and cubing this, if it dries between now and then, if you want your stuffing crispier, you can honestly intentionally dry it out, or you can just use it like this and it's gonna be fine, either way. But if it dries a little between now and when I make it, that's cool too. I have no problems with that. Here we go. And done. There we go. Bread is all cubed, ready for stuffing. So that stuffing is actually going to come together really, really, really quickly when we're looking to throw that together. Need is a strong word, I guess. I'm going to cube up some pecans here. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. Because my cranberry sauce is at a simmer now. So we're going to check it in like 10 minutes and see how it's doing. I'm going to chop up some pecans. You can chop up a cup, you can chop up a cup and a half if you are also making the dessert. So this is going to be half a cup of pecans for the sweet potato casserole, half a cup for broccoli salad, and half a cup if you want the cranberry apple dump cake. If you want to, you can use a rolling pin method. You can cover it with a little parchment or put it in a baggie, and then you can use a rolling pin. There we go. Pecans chopped. Okay. We're just going to, let's see, chopping up some pecans. I'm gonna chop up some broccoli now as well. Just gonna get it prepared for the broccoli salad. So I am taking off the florets, and I might make them a little smaller as well, just because I want it to be bite-sized for the salad. I love this broccoli salad. I would literally just eat it all year round. But I find it's nice to find some way to incorporate something green. It can be beans, it can be whatever, but incorporating something green into the meal is usually a good idea, nutritionally speaking. They're like the cutest little tiniest little pieces of broccoli ever. They're adorable. Little more broccoli, not all of it's fitting in there. You really like, a perfect world, you would want to have about 8 cups, but if it's a little under that, that's okay too. It's a little more, that's all right. There we go. Get my broccoli ready for my salad. If you want to make things super easy for yourself right now, you could take, we'll just take, we're going to take half a cup of pecans. My broccoli was a little light. I'm gonna put back some of my pecans. I'm gonna take out half the cranberries, and I'm just putting that into a container just because that's gonna make it easier for me to put my salad together as well. There we go. You guys, that is it for level 2, okay? Get my cup, spin empty there, clear off my space, because there's still work to do. Okay, I'm just gonna give this a little stir. Perfect. It might need a little longer in there. I'm not really sure. So we're making the cranberry sauce. That was part of level 3. We're also going to assemble the sweet potato casserole, because if I can just have this already ready to go in a dish, and then I can throw it in the oven on Christmas morning and have my favorite dish ever, then I'm pretty happy, okay? And it really is. This thing's just my favorite, so I hope you like it too. Let's see. We have got I'm gonna take my sweet potatoes and put them in this bowl. because I want to mash them. And I'm not just going to mash those, I'm going to put in the other ingredients that are going with it. So I'm going to mash my sweet potatoes with half a cup of sugar. Once again, there is no judgment at Christmas dinner. There is zero judgment at Christmas dinner. I will not hear any judgment about Christmas dinner. Okay. We're going to take butter. So, 1/4 cup of butter. What do we got here? Okay, come on. This is one thing where the measurements on the side of the butter container are my friend. Because these are all measurements-ish, right? There's nothing about these that is finite or scientific. So I should probably not put the foil in there with it. Let's just avoid eating foil on Christmas. I mean, there's got to be allowable amounts that you just forgive yourself for eating foil, but we'll keep that to a minimum, shall we? Okay, so we got butter. I'm gonna throw in a couple eggs. That one's broken, and I don't know when that happened, so we're not gonna eat that one. I mean, impressively, it's actually still in the shell, but second egg. What else? I'm gonna throw in some vanilla. Teaspoon, but I've always just poured a little on the lid. I don't know why. It's the way I saw my mom measure, and so then I ended up doing the exact same thing growing up. Salt. Oh, I brought my masher over here. Look around for my masher. I'm like, well, there it is, right in front of you. And I'm also going to use, you can use cinnamon, or you can use pumpkin spice, or I'm gonna use this. It's a blend of cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, orange peel, cloves, and ginger. So just to give it that those really warm flavors. It's like a hug for your insides. And mashing all of this goodness together. Okay, I'm also going to take melt another 1/4 cup of butter. Using the measurements in there, which I'm pretty sure I just did a terrible job with that measurement, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. I do not shy from the butter that is going on this for Christmas dinner. So for the topping that's going on top there, I'm taking, let's see, half a cup of brown sugar. I wonder why this is my favorite dish, eh? It's basically sugar and butter with a tiny little bit of sweet potato in it. And I don't see the problem with that at all. Okay, and mixing to that, half cup of pecans. Oops, don't want that one. A lot of onion on that one. I don't really want onion in my sweet potato. So I'm just gonna mush my melty butter and my pecans and my brown sugar all together here. So, I've got a 2-quart dish here. Just taking my mashed sweet potatoes. Give that a nice little spread around there. And then I'm just going to spread this around on top. Now this is going to be ready after this, that I can just throw it in the oven day of. I'm just going to cover it in some saran wrap. Perfect. So I'm just going to cover that in some saran wrap, put that in the fridge, and then day of, I have one of the more daunting looking side dishes that is literally just ready. It's just ready to go, and that feeling is a good feeling. Okay? Are we ready for a little bit more? I know, there's a lot, but I mean, think of all this is saving you the day of in dishes and all the rest of it. How you doing, Sauce? Sauce smells good, it looks good. I just took it off the heat, and then it's gonna cool, and we'll be happy. Okay, so I think I have one last thing to do just to save myself that extra little bit and make things easier to just throw together. And that is just, I'm going to put the dressing together for the broccoli salad. So then my broccoli is ready. Everything's ready. Okay? So, mayo. And I would like my white vinegar, but I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so we're just gonna have to pretend that I actually had my, proverbial stuff together and had my vinegar out, because it is not out here, and I'm gonna have to find that after. But gonna throw some mayo in here. I am a little light on my stuff, so I'm ishing it a little. roughly like 2/3. I know that makes it really complicated. Just pretend I didn't say that. You ever meet those people that make things really easy and then those people that take something and make it easy and then turn it complicated again? That's me. Nice to meet you. My instructions are probably better written up than they are verbally. Okay, so mayo. Let's put in, you know, my imaginary vinegar. Deco. Shh. Thank you. We're gonna put in some sugar. Then I'm gonna throw in some cinnamon. Oh, and the best cinnamon. If you've ever looked at cinnamons and be like, why are some cinnamons so expensive and some are not? It's because not all cinnamons are created equally. And this one, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Cringy? Cringy? No idea, but it's delicious. It's really, 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 really good. Okay. So, just gonna mix these together with my mayo eventually when I find it. And there's my dressing ready for my broccoli salad. So I've got my broccoli ready, I've got my craisins, and I have the pecans all mixed up. So that's just gonna be thrown together day of. Just gonna chop up some apple day of to throw in with that. And then that's ready, okay? So, guys, we did a lot. We powered through a lot. You did awesome. Like, I hope that as much as you're putting in this, you know, hour plus of work now, that you're going to feel it all so much better when you have this much less work to do day of. Because if you can choose when you do it, you can really reduce that stress. So, guys, I hope you enjoy your Christmas dinner. I hope you enjoy most of all the time you get to spend with your family, and I hope this reduces the stress that you feel on that day so that you can enjoy it even more. I love you all, and I'm looking forward to the next year of cooking and prepping with you all, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.